I am a real priest. For a long while, I was the only transgender priest in Australia until I realised that made me sound like the only gay in the village. So I stopped calling myself that. But I do all the usual things, baptisms, weddings, funerals, or hatches, matches, and dispatches, as we call them. And recently I went to England to attend my own son's funeral. He'll shoot me for that. His wedding, which was a bit of an event in itself, because they don't pay me an awful lot. That's better. They don't pay me an awful lot. So I had to fly by a cheap economy air, Logan Air. And I knew it was a bit of a cheap event because I saw the captain out there at the beginning kicking the tyres, saying, yeah, these should do to get us there in time. And then I saw his white stick. And I realised that they've got the only blind airline pilot in the world. But he's been blind since birth, apparently, so his hearing and everything is highly attuned as a result of that. So what he does is he sits there in the cockpit on the runway, opens the engines to full power, starts thundering down the runway, and he's listening all the time. And when he hears the passengers say, fucking hell, he pulls back on it. I did that in the wrong order. Now I can say fuck. Now, so I went to my son's wedding, and it was, I keep saying funeral, wishing it on him. It was an unusual wedding, because weddings are normally either in a church or a registry office or something like the hotel. He had his in a zoo, in the tiger enclosure, which was actually a really good idea because it meant we had fewer guests to feed after the wedding than we did before it. And having, the catering is interesting as well, because you know how you do double drop, beef, chicken. Well, in a zoo, it's camel, penguin. It's a really different type of menu. And at an English wedding, like an Australian wedding, there's rather a lot of alcohol consumed. And that's when people get a bit more daring and start asking questions of people who are transgender, like what I am. Like, have you still got your bits? And it's always that word they use, your bits. They don't use any medical terminology or anything like that. They don't even use any of the more fruity types of words, like the words for penis, like cock, willy, dong, wang, gentleman's sausage, one-eyed trousers snake. So many words that they could reel off. They don't use any of them, it's always your bits. And it made me think afterwards when I heard, I was thinking about this, and I thought, how many words are there for ladies' parts? And there aren't as many. There's the C word, obviously, and there's fanny, pussy, minge, pleasure palace, that's a new one I found, but not as many. So I Googled this and looked it up in the dictionary, and I found that there are 61 words for men's genitalia and only 17 for women. Ladies, we're not trying hard enough, are we? So what I want you to do is I want you to either think of some that I might not have found, or the dictionary hasn't found, or better still, invent some new ones yourself and put them into some sort of context. Imagine a sentence like, sir, you are a complete and absolute, whatever your word is. And then so we can correlate all of these responses together, email them in to this website address. It's donaldtrump@thewhitehouse.org.us. And that way we'll be able to get the message across as to what he really is. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you very much, everybody. Good night.